right genre.
Blood and gore will always sell.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2022 horror comedy Wolf Manor. The film is directed by Dominic Brunt and it stars James Fleet, John Henshaw, Nikki Evans, Jay Taylor, Sade Malone and Sean Harrison. Now the film focuses on a group of filmmakers who are making like a low budget, schlocky vampire film at a manor in like a remote English village somewhere, and then they're like at the back end of filming. I think it's the final night of filming, and then they are unfortunately set upon by a werewolf that is taking apart the cast and crew. So then it becomes a fight to survive the night to see who can get out of this situation alive and in one piece. Right. What are my thoughts on Wolf Manor? Well, at the very surface of this, you know, when you kind of look at it from the outside at this film, you would just sort of assume this is another one of those low budget, straight to streaming, you know, horror films that, you know, that we see time and time again. And, you know, to many people that may still be the case if they watch this film. I'm not here to say that this film is, you know, anything outstanding, is going to make anybody's top 10 list of the year, potentially. But there is actually an half-decent film here under the surface, if you've got the patience to watch it, and you don't mind a little bit of jankiness and a bit of, you know, low budget here and there. There is actually a decent amount of fun to be had with this film. I actually found the whole thing quite entertaining. Now, don't get me wrong, I mean, this film will at times make you roll your eyes, and I think some of it is done on purpose. For example, the lead actor, played by James Fleet, who's like the aging vampire, and he's done a few of these films, by the sounds of it, is their version of like the Christopher Lee, if you like. His name is Oliver Lawrence, so you flip his name, you get an idea of, you know, with the humour that this film's going for. So that's what I mean by, I think some of it is quite done on purpose, and some of it is things that you're kind of like, that just doesn't make any sense. For example, there's a guy that goes to his car, and at this point in the film, they know there's something out there stalking them and killing them. I'm not sure they know at that point if it's a werewolf or anything. And the guy goes to his car. You can clearly see him unlocking it because you hear the beeping. He gets in the car, shuts the door, is on a phone to somebody, and he turns to his left, and lo and behold, what's there? But the werewolf. So your immediate question is, well, how the hell did it get in the car? He unlocked it to get in the car. So there's moments like that scattered throughout this film that may, you know, that will kind of roll your eyes. Some of it on purpose, some of it not. And if you can forgive all of that, and if the humour in this film kind of clicks with you, there's a fairly entertaining, fun horror comedy here that is very, very self-aware of what it is. You know, you've got your pretentious leading actor, you've got the producer behaving like an arse, you've got a director that's very demanding, you've got the people doing the sound and the special effects guys being put upon, and you know what I mean? They're all kind of caricatures of what you expect a film crew to look like and behave like, sort of thing. And then you've got, on top of that, the fun aspect of this werewolf kind of stalking them. The film makes no attempt to explain why there's a werewolf, not really, because clearly this film crew, even if it, regardless of how low budget it is, let's be generous and say this film crew's been there, I don't know, 5 days, and they're making a really quick film. You know, why did it? You know, why are they just being set upon now? I know you could make the argument for the full moon and all this kind of stuff. And the film again is so self-aware that it makes lots of nods to American Werewolf in London. You know, you've got characters going to the local pub expecting it to be called the Slaughtered Lamb and saying, you know, when they're saying can you tell us where they're doing when they're making the film? And they say it's that way sort of thing. And they're saying, yeah, we know, we'll walk on the path and not on the moors. And, you know, they're making lots of nods and references to classic films and all that kind of stuff. So it is definitely very, very self-aware of what it is. But also, I think what also quite impressed me in this film is the level of gore and the effects. I thought the effects for a film budgeted at this kind of level, were really of quite a good standard. You see lots of like decapitated body parts. You see there's lots of blood and gore when people getting dismembered and all this kind of stuff, limbs chopped off. But on top of that as well, the werewolf, for the majority of the time, looks well done. Now, there are a couple of shots with the werewolf where it clearly looks like a guy in a werewolf suit crawling on all fours. So I think when they focus too much on, a full shot of the werewolf, it doesn't work so much. But when you kind of see it up close, I think it looked quite effective, the werewolf. So, you know, it's a fairly relaxed film, this. It's not what you would describe as scary. It's more amusing, in a subtle way, you know what I mean? The references to, the nods and references to, horrors and all that kind of stuff is quite fun. You know, the characters, play it seriously, but in a way that allows you to enjoy the film, you know what I mean? As I said, it's quite self-aware of what it is. And there's a decent amount of entertainment to be had with this. So if you're a fan, really, of low-budget type films, if you like films that are kind of being, meta to some degree. I know that's kind of old-fashioned these days, and films try and be meta. But the whole idea of them, of us having a film within a film, if done properly and done carefully, it can be quite effective. And I would like to say that I think the filmmakers here have delivered that. You know what I mean? A fairly effective, low-budget horror comedy. I feel as though I'm being a little bit generous here, but I am going to give it a 6 out of 10 because I'm not going to lie, I had a bit of fun with it. Yes, there were moments where I did roll my eyes at it here and there. But for the most part, it was, as long as you don't think about it too much, and as long as if you're not one of these that wants explanations for this, that, and the other when you're watching films like this, then, I think you might be fairly entertained with it because it doesn't take itself too seriously. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll be back with more content on the channel very, very soon.